So, hi guys, how are you? Nora, Zar, Naya, and Andrew. I think all four of us. You guys with me? Let me resume the recording and let me know as soon as you see my screen. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, better. So, let's just post all of this stuff behind. So, I want to ask one question from you guys. Suppose a scenario is like you are already able to see my screen. So, what if I this is my system and I'm trying to blah blah log in and I type in some password. Suppose this is my saved password in my system, in my browser, in my default state, whatever device I'm using. And I can only see these dots, but since I am the administrator of my own device, I want to, but I forgot the password. Is there any way that I can see what this password is? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Can we see it? How?
Well, in this case, you can just press the I
that
button, icon one. No.
I? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that not the easy way, just the hard way. Because here it is visible, but in case if I'm using a saved password already, sometimes a website disable the options to view the passwords as well. So what about that case? Let's just
we
say I
don't
can't
know.
use this, and we don't know.
Well, we can do like
Okay,
forgot password, or what I'm usually doing. You are asking if it's not saved on my laptop case, or it is
saved.
saved. Okay, so I'm going to the password saved, like a place in my computer, and finding my password there.
Yeah, sure. That's another possibility. But that depends on our ability to recover the password from the given mechanism that is provided by Facebook, right? Let's just say we are going to be developers. So let's just learn a way that generally developers use in situations like this. That actually question was supposed to test the knowledge of your forms, because last class I was informed that you guys already have covered forms in HTML. So this is how we can, I mean, it's not a tweak, it's not a hack, it's not anything. It's just a basic use. Suppose I want to see this password. You can just use this button and just click here. Can you see? Can you see the
Yeah.
type of this element? What is the type
Yeah.
of this element?
Password.
Password. What happens when if I take, what happens if I change this to text?
Oh, well, it should show you what's inside, like text version. No.
Exactly.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Before this I feature came into the picture, that's how developers used to debug passwords and login. Basically, as a developer, you are sometimes support supposed to create login windows or login screens where you are going to be dealing with emails and passwords and their validation. So in those times, sometimes servers mess up and you have to figure out passwords. So this might come in handy. This does come in handy. So just letting you guys know. Also, forms. So you guys know how to create forms, right? Check boxes, inputs, and input fields, different kinds of all the different kinds of input fields and everything.
Yes.
Guys, yes or no? Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, so one question, guys. We define a submit button, right? In a form. Do you guys remember that in a form that we define a button
Yeah.
and we define its attribute type as submit. Why do we do that? I mean, what's the purpose of that?
So that the data gets sent to backend and it gets um, processed. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Vaguely, that is true. Yes, that's what happens behind the scenes. That whenever we assign a type submit, that becomes whatever input that we give to that assigned entity, whatever we have assigned submit, that entity becomes an input flow, input back channel. So whenever we try to provide an input to that element, it actually saves it and passes it on to the backend of the browser. After that, we can use it however we want to use it for the purpose of validations and all. Sometimes we do validation on front end, sometimes we do validations on back end. So that comes in handy for both the cases. Anyway, one more thing, guys. Suppose you are able to see my screen I have. Yeah. Suppose I'll write margin as 20 px, 20 px, 20 px, and 30 px. Do you guys know what this means?
It's like size of the box.
Yeah, it's how much it is from left, starting from top to clockwise, going the
Yeah,
size.
top right size, like bottom and left size of the box, or
Yes,
just
yes,
size of
exactly.
the page.
That's what, yeah, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. That if you guys know that if I am defining four values here, that means starting from top, it goes for each direction, like top, right, bottom, and left. And I have basically defined margin for top as 20 pixel, right as 20 pixel, bottom as 20 pixel, and left as 30 pixels. That's what I just wanted to confirm. Okay, what about this? What if I do this?
It's just top and bottom.
So 20 pixels top and 20 pixels bottom, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. Other guesses?
Left and right.
Left 20 pixels and right 20 pixels, right? Okay, for the sake of our differentiation, let's just differentiate the values. So 20 pixels left and 30 pixels right, right?
Mhm.
Okay, wrong again. What about you,
Then
Andrew?
it's
Maybe
top.
top and right.
Top and right. That seems reasonable. 20 pixels top and 30 pixels right. Because it starts from top, right, but still wrong. So the answer is whenever we define two values only, that means the first value denotes same value for top and bottom. That means 20 pixels of top and 20 pixels of bottom. And the second value defines same value, common value for left and right. That means 30 pixels of right and 30 pixels of left. Clear, guys? Just I thought just something that you should know. Okay, now, suppose I have a class. I have a div. Let's create a div here in the body. Let's create a div with class grid. Like we are going to study grid today, so let's just do that. And
Can you
uh,
wait for us to create it?
sorry.
Can you wait for us to create it?
We are also like following you at the same time, so we need like open the HTML class.
Not yeah, sure, you can yeah, sure, we can do that, but not yet, because right now I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
uh, I'm just what this is a grid div. Okay, never mind. So this is a div with with the paragraph, line, single line, and class grid. In this scenario, there is only one div with a class grid. But suppose I do this. What about now?
Yeah.
There are there are so many divs with same class grid. But let's just say that mm, let's just say that I'm going to edit some of them as with a number, or what do you selectors? Fine. Some of them might have the keyword selectors, some of them might not. So let's just say I have basically 6 divs. All of them has a class grid. Some of them have other classes as well. But my purpose, what I want to do, my aim is that I want to apply one CSS rule to all of the divs or any element that have the class grid. Now, how can I do that?
Just gonna-
Any suggestions, or is this a completely uncharted territory? Just let me know.
So you want the size of the grid?
No, no, no. I don't want the size of the grid. I just okay. Let
Maybe
me.
just dot grid.
No, no. I just like. Can you see this div, right?
Yes.
This div has class grid. This div has class grid and selectors, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want one CSS rule. CSS rule could be any rule. Suppose color of this font is should be red. Okay. Or font size. Okay, so let's say font size could be what, 50 pixels. Let's say that. I want this font size 50 pixels to be applied on all the divs that have class grid. I don't care how many they are. I don't care what other classes they might or might not have. I'm just concerned with all the classes that have grid. How can I apply this one rule to all of them? Did you guys understand the question?
Yeah, just type dot
Yes.
grid.
Okay, dot grid. Is that so?
Yeah, and
But
Carl
it will take
prices.
only grids.
Sorry?
But
Carl
we have also grid selectors. Like
Yes. Okay.
maybe div.
Let me just go ahead. Let me be a little mischievous. I just right now I'm going to change the words even. I'm going to put our names as well in the same word. What? No, Naya, eh, Andrew. Mm, I hope I didn't leave someone out. Okay, Zan. Sorry, my bad. So what about this now? All of these divs just start with the word grid, but they all have even different classes. They don't even have the same classes. What do I do now? I have to apply one rule of CSS or any set of rules, a common set of rules of CSS to all of these. How can I do that?
Can we just take body for that, or assuming we have different things in body?
True, you can apply the same, you can apply that rule to body, but there might come a certain point in future where I add something else in the body. In that case, that thing, newly added thing will also be affected with that rules that I'm defining right now. So do I want to do that?
No, then well, in like in testing in Selenium, we have like contains, starts contains, and say like grid class, and then we say like star equals star and grid, but I don't know if it can be done in HTML.
Okay, now that was a useful piece of information. You are saying that in Selenium you used to use a notation that basically meant that whenever you use star, that basically enabled the QA or Selenium to pick up all of the things, whatever started with whatever the word you provided, like grid,
Yes.
something like this, right?
Yes.
What about others? What about Andrew and all the other guys? Have you guys uh, ever used this kind of rules in your IT journey? Have you?
No, I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine, no issue. What about you, Andrew?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So today you are also this was going to be a later topic, but since this is kind of foundational as well, so I'll cover these are called the topic is selectors. Selectors means okay, like for example, whenever I write any CSS here, suppose I am writing a CSS for grid, whatever that grid could be. It could be like a font size 50 pixels. Let's just get over that. Yeah. So only this one is changed, but at least one of it is changed, right? Because I did one thing correctly, that I applied the CSS rule on grid, on class grid. Now CSS compiler was able to find in the HTML this division, this div, on the basis of only this, a dot and a grid, a dot and a word. Similarly, if I provide grid as an ID and do the same, font size as 50 pixels, I'm sure right now it won't have an effect, but as soon as I write an ID of what ID of grid, why okay, wait. As soon as I do this, I have the same effect. Now the compiler is also able to find this div on the basis of one word as well, hash grid. Same goes for div. If I do this, then all of these are going to be changed. See? So I believe you guys can notice there are three things in play here: a tag name, class, and ID. I covered the same things in the last class for the topic specificity. If you guys remember, do you guys remember?
Yeah, specific.
Specificity,
Yeah.
yes. It looked like this, a number, specifically a number, right? Just
Mhm.
tells us if how many whatever how much specific we are in defining the CSS. In the same way, we always have a predefined way of denoting these tag name or classes or ID. We always use a dot with class, and we always use a hash with ID. And and tag name is already intact. No, we don't add anything to it. And we can search among this all the CSS, all the HTML with one CSS rule as well. Those are called selectors. You can apply the same concepts in many different ways, like for the sake of emmet coding. Emmet coding is a way of you can say defining shorthands of whatever HTML structure that you want to create. For example, if I want to create a div, four divs inside one div, then if I do it manually all the way through, it's going to take some time. But if I do this dot this, and inside this div I want div, what do I get?
Four divs.
Four
Can you
divs
show again?
inside one div. Yeah, sure. Div
Oh,
inside, four divs inside a div. That's called emmet coding. So that saves us a lot of time. We use the rules that I applied here are also the same rules that we also can employ here as well. Because all the way, even when we go into JavaScript, even when we go into vanilla JavaScript, even when we are right now dealing with CSS, and even when we are coding HTML, these rules never change, and they rules always come in handy. So like I said, if I have to define any div with the class my name Pulkesh, and inside that I want four divs, or you can say div with class whatever. Say this is a development class, right? Developers into four, because there are four of you. There's already a defined behavior. I already defined a class because I use dot. So dot is for class. If I suddenly want to add an ID, I can use ID as well. Dot developers hash is, and what about now? There's an ID as well now. Do you guys see?
Mhm.
So in same way, we can like our plot problem statement looked like that if I want to apply a single CSS rule on all of these, I can see one pattern that all of this CSS, all of the classes just start with grid, GRID, grid. They just start with it. I don't care about whatever the rest of the word is, but it just starts with grid. So that's the kind of rule that I'm looking into that makes me enable to search all the classes that start with whatever I write here. This is the rule. I suppose I do grid. Now, whatever rule I select is going to be applied on all of them as well. Font, let's say blue violet. Oh, okay, never mind. Just a second. See, if I do this, if I only just remove the word, then see, selective behavior. This is
mhm.
all about selecting, being able to parse through different HTML elements. This is going to be a really important concept when we deal with vanilla JavaScript. Why? Because right now we are remember the remember the first question that I asked in my previous class, that according to you guys think that we cannot edit HTML structures, or we cannot add any div uh, without HTML or CSS, but we can. Remember, we can do any kind of HTML or CSS coding just with the help of JavaScript. So
Okay.
this is how we do it. When we use JavaScript to do all those kind of things, we use these selectors. We use these to search from whole of the DOM tree. Do you guys remember DOM tree?
Yes.
Yes. So we use these selectors to search from DOM tree, and these are very basic, very basic. But they give us a lot of accessibility. So this there are many, a few, not many, a few selectors. You guys can take down note of it. You guys can try to even implement side by side now. I won't stop you guys now. So it's up to, yeah. These are the values. These are the attribute sectors. Few of them that comes in handy sometimes. So yeah. Now, if you guys want to know these or implement or use while coding along with me, you can. Do you guys want to know these?
So this one is not gonna work in HTML, is it? This CSS.
Why not?
But how do we pass, for example, this a that the last attribute, for example, href?
hmm hmm
Yes. How do we
Yeah.
pass it in HTML?
How do we pass it in HTML? Yeah,
Yeah.
we pass in HTML attributes, right?
Oh,
In
attribute.
in HTML, this class, this just a second, wait, yeah, this class or this ID, these are attributes, and these are
Oh,
specific
I
to
mean like
elements.
in the CSS. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how we can use it. Uh, Suppose I
Oh.
remove every other CSS. This is how I use it. This is the attribute that I am targeting. This, okay, let me just add a bit of space and differentiate between all of these. This word, first word, is the attribute that I'm targeting. It could be a class, it could be a tag name, it could be a ID, or any three of these. After that, I'm using a specific what do we call it? Processor, reprocessor, where we call it or you can say whatever mathematical sign or combination you can use, based on my needs, based on whatever I want to do, what is my aim. So attribute, after that the sign, and after that I can pass in the value. I am interested. See, this one selects all the elements that starts with whatever I provide the input with. That means if whatever element starts with class grid is going to be searched here, and after that search, whatever I apply here, whatever I write here, it would be applicable on those.
What if that there is an like I want to target one div? Uh, so do I just write div before the class?
You want to target just one div.
No, for example, in that CSS selector, we have a tag, right? That a. Um,
Okay, here, yeah, a tag.
a element. Yeah.
Yes.
How do I say a?
How do sorry, how do I what?
How do I say a element so that it selects all elements with a tag?
Okay, so you are talking about what if I want what if you want to write an element, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So in that case, first of all, that's not actually needed. But if we want to, how can I show the effect? But if, in case if you want to use the tag name, this is the convention. This is how you use it. I mean, without the angle brackets, I'm just showing you the placement. Tag name with the that's how. I mean, if I want to use it with the div, that's how I do it. Or if I want to use it with a, that's how I use it. But yeah, right now I haven't implemented it in HTML, so I can't show the effect. Do you guys want me to do this practical use
Yes.
it? Yeah. Okay, let's just provide an A with the href https dummylink.com and let's just provide some text, my dummy link, and I want this dummy link to look mm, yeah, purple. So in that case, I should be able to define a class for it, and okay, the class is now grid. After I do this, I have defined class. Rest of it is just a tag, and now a tag class with grid A with grid search. I think it should work. I hope so. Yeah, it works.
Mm.
Any other example you guys would like me to implement? Any other possible scenarios? Any questions? Any doubts?
No, so far no questions.
Good. Anyway, no issue. I mean, we are going to touch this topic quite a few times, quite a lot, not few. So, yeah, it's not like you can't ask about it in the later stage. You can. Just right now I don't want to have any doubts because I was going to use this convention while working with grids, because defining CSS for each and every div would be kind of cumbersome, because this is kind of a gist of how much elements I would have to define in order to explain all the different kinds of grid. So this is the main reason why I had to cover this sector. Otherwise, this was kind of an advanced topic. So I hope this is clear to you guys. And also, you guys can look up Emmet coding as well. Emmet coding is the way I was using. These are the shorthands that I use to produce the code. It works for HTML, but also it works for JavaScript and all the languages that we are going to learn on the go later. So you guys can just even search. There are cheat sheets like always whatever the element you use. If I use div, I just use div. And after that, if I use a dot, that means I'm going to define a class. If I use a hash, that means I'm going to define ID. If I use angle bracket, that means the left one becomes the parent. So these are the normal conventions that you guys might pick up just by reading a cheat sheet or something like that, examples. But later we will cover all of those in detail anyway. Okay, so finally, let's start with grids. So you guys remember I gave you a bit of homework. Not I don't want to call it homework. Just a bit of assignment, you can say. I wanted you guys to flex me some flexbox. I gave you a little task to do to design a few really basic stuff with flexbox. Did you guys do it?
Where did you send it? I forgot, sorry.
No issue. You
Right
forgot.
now, I remember that you asked us to create, and I
I,
do remember those an example, but I don't remember you sent something to us as a homework, like as an assessment.
I did only
True.
first part.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's really good. Even the first part. Andrew, can you show us a bit? I want to see what
Yeah, I
you're
can
doing.
share the link in the chat.
Sure, you can share the link. Have you hosted it?
Yes.
But
Yeah,
Okay, that's great.
it's on the code.
Sure. Go on and share the link. Okay. Okay. So that's the sandbox. In case, okay, never mind. I'll just be sharing it anyway.
Тебе всё равно нужно понять. Да. Да, так думаю просто. Согласиться. Согласиться.
Okay, so here we are using Flex, right?
Yes.
Where's the CSS? Yeah, but this looks nice. This looks clean. Okay, so you are using IDs as main and footer and header, and you are using inner. After that, you have positioned it for absolute.
Yeah, inners class common to all of them.
Okay, that's great. Inner and but okay. Fine. I just wanted to see the use of flex. That's fine. But otherwise, other than that, why have we defined the position relative here in the header?
Otherwise, the head, main, and footer it will shift if you delete it.
If I use static. Okay, I can't do that because I'm not signed in. Okay, no issue. We will cover. We are going to dive deep in this kind of structure anyway right now. So Flex is clear to Andrew at least. What about you guys? Do you guys still have a clarity on Flex, or it's just foggy? It's all just foggy right now.
okay, to be honest.
Foggy, to be honest. That's fine. No issues. I appreciate the honesty. So no worries. Right now, see, why I asked this because I know without gaining hands-on experience, without actually doing the coding, nobody remembers anything. Even if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't remember anything at all either. So that's fine. So that's why even at the beginning of the class today, I told Bak that after one or two classes, we will be dedicating all our time in the classes in implementing all of the concepts that I have touched right now, or I'm going to teach for the specific for the command over CSS and HTML. So no worries. I will be covering Flexbox as well in the later stage. Today is the day for grid. Agreeable,
Okay.
guys? Okay, good. That's great. So, well, the introduction for grids is same. Like in the last class, like I said, the world of UI came into the picture after there was a property float in CSS that was delivered to us. After that float, Flexbox or flexible boxes came into the picture that let them float. After that, grid came into the picture that let us divide our screen into a grid. So that's what basically grid is. Why is it called grid? Because it enables us to divide our whole screen in sort of a grid. Not just sort of, I will actually show you the grid. It's visible, it's a visible grid, and that's why it is called grid. And why it grid is kind of enhanced version of Flexbox. Like you guys already know that Flexbox only works in one direction, either a row, either a column. But grid is a multi-talented guy. Grid at the same time can work with rows, at the same time can work with columns, and at the same time can structure all of the sections that are present in your whole HTML, all of them at once. You just have to be accurate in defining or planning it out. That's it. But Grid can do that. How? Let's just start from the beginning. So, um, let's just right now use this as a sure. Okay, so on the go, I'll be defining a few things so that we can see. You guys can even code along with me here. I would appreciate it as well. Just a second. The hell? Yeah. So right now we have defined only three sections. Sections is not a big thing. Sections, you can don't panic just because I have written section here. It really doesn't mean much. Even if I want to, I can use div if you guys want to. So it's not going to change anything. So right now these are just three divs. Normal simple divs with classes block 1, 2, and 3. All of these three are child to grid beginner. Right. Right now, let's learn how to actually make this a grid. How did we used to define a flex? Any of you remember? Not Andrew, not Andrew. Just define grid. Which property did I use just to define and that the element is going to be a flex?
Position.
No, position.
And
No,
justify.
position. No. Justify was one of the property that we used for flex. Okay, no issues. We used display property to define flex. Okay, so same goes here. If I use grid beginner, that's the class that that's the parent class, and I choose to change its see block contents flex grid. So right now I choose to make this parent a grid. So now all the childrens are are a part of grid display. Now one more thing that I can do. Okay, not in this one. I'm going to make a use of that mm, class.
Grid написал я.
By the way, guys, one little question. Do you guys, what is the code editor that you guys use for your own coding?
Sandbox.
Sandbox itself. All of you guys?
Yes, we're using like Sandbox and Visual Studio, but mostly
Simultaneously.
Sandbox.
Okay, but mostly Sandbox. Okay, I would suggest right now, it's not a strong advice, it's not a force or anything, but I would suggest you guys to use any kind of editor. I personally use VS Code, but any editor is fine. Sandbox is also fine, but it's all about The reason that I'm suggesting is because right now we are in just a little bit of a beginner mode dealing with HTML CSS, but as soon as we grow and grow to the full pro version, we are going to use many things that editors can do for us right out of the box. And when that kind of functionality is in concern, VS Code definitely stands out in terms of speed and in terms of functionality. So there are many things that we can do with the specific editors. So I would strongly suggest you guys to be comfortable, be familiarized with one single editor, so that you can gain command over it. Like for example, you guys can see if I have to if I have to change this div, I don't have to just manually select all the div and change. Just I can just do anything here. I can do this pull cache. So these are the power. These are small powers, and this is not the power that I'm basically concerned with. But these are small improvements. The powers that I'm talking about are these extensions. See, I'm using so many extensions. Right now, they are not in use because sometimes most of them are for React or for Git, for a lot of other stuff. Really, a lot of other stuff, but it makes our life easier. As a developer, it's our job to make the user's life easier. So we have to also employ some tools so that even our life is easier as well. It's not a pressure cooker. So why take the pressure? So getting that out. Yeah. Right now, I'm applying a few properties of CSS for all the divs that are on class display, that are on class grid or have grid in their class name. Okay. What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah. And let's just not define gap right now. We can see these three. Let's start giving them a border. Let's start by not border of let's say 2 or 5 pixels, 5 pixels, solid, and let the border be red. It's done. Okay, okay, too much, too much, too much. Yeah, and too many corners. Let's define a border radius for the sake of making it sleek better. You guys can ignore this. This is added because of a plugin. Why is this added? Because it automatically generates support for all the browsers. That means Mozilla or Internet Explorer and all. That's what this is. Not important, so I'm just going to remove it. Not, I don't want to continue confuse you guys. And other than this, what we can do is add a padding so that there is some bigger boxes after padding. I don't think anything else is needed. Fine. Yeah. Mm. Can anyone answer this? That as soon as I added the attribute height as 90 VH, VH, you guys, I hope you guys remember VH, viewport height. That means our screen's height that is visible to us, other than the URL bar. So as soon as I add grid beginner, that means parent, an attribute of height as 90 VH, then all of these three expand. Do you guys know why?
Because it applies to like for all of them.
Sorry.
What was your question?
Okay. My question is that as like, see, right now this is just the default behavior,
Mm-hmm.
but as soon as I undo this, this happens. Why? I mean, why do they take up the whole screen?
Because of the VH, no? Like
Because of the
like
VH, because I have defined the parent to expand the grid in 90% of the screen. That's what it means. That's the answer that I was actually hoping for. That this is the parent. Grid beginner is the parent. See,
yes.
grid beginner is the parent. And with CSS, I have instructed it to take an area of 90% of the visible screen, 90% of the visible viewport height, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why all of these just expand. Now, I have already defined, I'm not going to do this again. And after this, yeah, there is a property that comes, like this is grid, and there is a property of gap that works with grid only. And this makes us differentiate this can help a lot because sometimes generally when we deal with boxes or any kind of cards, display cards or anything, we can simply add margin, we can use padding, and we can just create a bit of space around all of them. But when it comes to grid, we cannot do that. We cannot get into that kind of complexity because that means that it could be any number of boxes that we are dealing with. So we don't want to set margins and paddings for suppose let's say I defined 100 boxes, then I'm not going to define margin and padding for 100 boxes. So this one little line takes care of that automatically. So please take note of this one as well. Display grid and gap 20. This defines a grid. After that, I can. mm, well, this is a really normal grid. Okay. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Here I will consolidate your assignment in grid form as well. So I hope you guys remember. See, this was your assignment to create these templates in what do we call it? Flex. See, that's how it is. But there is a little catch. I myself I have created this in grid. So I'm just going to create the same with grid side by side. And this is the behavior that I'm going to create as well, that I'm going to implement in front of you guys as well. See, right now it is less than 768 pixels. As soon as this passes the limit, it the orientation changes, the structure changes. And as soon as I grow as well, see, do you guys remember what is this called? This behavior?
Responsive.
Yes, responsive design. True. So this is what we guys are going to implement. This is our last level of what we are going to do. There is some error, I guess, in the hosted one. Never mind, we will deal with all of them. So our first one is pretty clear. First one is already kind of done. The only difference is header and footer are just taking automatic area. So how do we do that? Okay, now,
Нет, я
Yeah.
второй раз пробую.
Нет, я имею в виду это двоеточие.
what we can do is I can also define a background of a linear gradient, and that could be from Rune to which purple did I use? I don't remember. Rebecca purple, yeah, I think so, if I remember correctly. Yeah, kind of makes it. After that, other than this, let's give it margin of 0 and margin of 0. Well, that is just irrelevant for you guys. After this, I can
А, нет. Думала, я
implement grid template
CSS, да?
repeat auto 1F bar auto. Okay, not repeat. Yeah. So one more little note. We are going to use 4 properties mainly. All of them have grid. One is template for both row, and one is for column. Other property is grid itself for row and for column. And one property is going to be grid template area. The same goes for grid area. So these are the properties that we are going to use while working with grids. Most of it are these. There are other few properties whose value are autofill and auto fit, but today we are not going to implement these because I want you guys to be perfect in this as this first. So I'm just going to comment it down in case you guys want to note it. What are the properties that we are going to use? And right now I have defined for the parent grid template row. Now grid template, whenever we use the keyword template, that means that we are defining how we want to allocate the screen. Now grid template row means here we are defining how I want the rows to be. Now I have already using 3 divs. So that means first header row is auto. That means it takes automatic space. After that, This is 1 FR. This is a new measurement unit that becomes available to us only in case of grids. And its full form is fraction. 1 FR means one fraction, and one fraction denotes available space area to us. That means here I have already defined auto for first and last row, or you can say first and third row. That's why header and footer are taking same space as automatic. But for the main, I have defined the size to be 1 FR. That means one fraction. One fraction, as I defined, is all the available space to us. So that's why main takes up the all of the biggest chunk available of the space. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No. It's just about you deleted background color, right? Again. Or you have it. Oh, okay. No, in the other screen. Oh,
Other
okay.
screen?
No, sorry. It
We
was
are
my.
okay. No issue. No issue. No issue. Even if I deleted background, I think that won't matter much in case of grids. So that's fine. Any other questions, guys? Andrew, you guys have anything?
For some reason, when I type linear gradient, I don't see colors coming up, right?
Yes, that's one of the reasons that I use editors, because this VS Code by Microsoft is actually suggestive. It has AI, not AI, but already all the terminologies of whatever language that I want to use, like HTML, CSS, and all. That's why when I only type linear, see it all. This is all IntelliSense. IntelliSense IntelliSense is the main feature of VS Code. That is the editor thing. So if you guys, I mean, I'm not in favor of using this all the time because it makes you dependable. So if right now you guys are forced to use Sandbox, or you guys choose to use Sandbox, you will be very not so dependable on the sessions as well. But it's up to you, whatever you choose.
Great. Okay.
Mm.
So moving on. First level is done. See, let's ignore the animations of hover. Size is same, header, main, and footer. We have achieved this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's go from beginner to a beginner plus. I hope that's the name that I've given here. Beginner plus, not here, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the grid, how it actually looks like in real on the screen. For that, I'm going to divide this grid into 12 columns. It is a standard actually. You guys can note it down. It's called 12 column grid. 12 column grid is a standard. When we try to, for example, these kind of examples, like when we try to design these kind of structures in our website, we use 12 column grid system. So that's a standard. You guys can note down. And how do we create it? It could be 10, it could be 12, it could be 24. It's up to you guys How do we do that? This is how we do it. Grid template, because I want to define columns, because I want to define 12 column grids. And how? We use a function repeat. Repeat is going to just repeat whatever I value, repeat all the columns with the value I provide it with. Okay, so that means auto one for not sorry, not repeat, not auto. First attribute is how many times I want to repeat it, and the second attribute is the size. So if I'm going to make 12 column grid, and that means 12. 12 here, and the later the size is one fraction. That means the whole screen is going to be divided into 12 equal sized columns. Now let's see if we are able to see something change, but there is no change, right? How do we do that? Is there any change?
Mm,
No, right? Now let me show you what is the change. See, can you guys see the grid? Lines
it's
1, 2, 3. Okay, wait. I have to.
Yeah, the S is missed columns, I think.
Okay. See, thank you. Yeah, see. Right now we haven't you make the use of the whole screen, but we have already defined it for 90% of the screen, 90 VH, and we have divided first row into 12 columns. Can you guys see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the separating lines. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this is -1 or 13, you can say. -1 denotes the end. 1 denotes the beginning, -1 denotes the end of grid or the opposite side. So now it comes to now till now we have been defining the grid and the structure for parent. Now we are going to delve a bit deeper with children as well. Now we are going to define for, let's say, block 1. I hope that's correct. Yeah, block 1. For this, see, I told you when we use template when we define things, but now it's time to use things. So we are just going to use these attributes without the template keyword. So drop the template keyword right now and use grid uh, column. This defines to which column, from which column to which column I want this block 1 to not only it should be row, not column. Okay, let's say 1, 2, -1. Let's see what effect does it have.
Тоже просто сделал linear gradient, и он сработал.
Can you see the grid a bit clearer now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was supposed to, okay, it was supposed to be vertical. Never mind. I'll just
Или что-то там было.
and columns already, and I should be defining row.
Здесь поменяли вот это.
Yeah, you can do one thing as well. Let's just for now use one thing. Let's use span. Guys, like right now you can see the grid lines, right? Already. We can use span keyword to sort of merge between the lines.
О. Все, теперь поменялся.
If you want to merge between the lines, for example, why is it footer header main? What the hell is happening? Okay, right now. Okay, let me just comment it down. Yeah. So let's just say span 3. See, this is header from top to bottom. And what did I do? I just merged it. Merge merge 3 rows. Can you guys see? This is row 1, this is row 2, and this is row 3. And I just using span, I just combined or merged 3 rows. For which? For block 1. And block 1 is what? Block 1 is header 1. That means that my header is covering 3 rows. How do I do it? Using span. Same case, I can do the same for other 3. I can use span 6. And I can use again span 3. Okay, we expand. Okay. Till now, is there any doubt till now? Oh, because after this, I'm going to ask a question based on the same.
Like in the index HTML, you have both grid beginner and grid beginner plus.
You can ignore it because even if I have this in HTML, I don't have any grid beginner class. I just have grid beginner plus, so it won't
Mm,
take any effect. So
okay.
for your convenience, I'm just going to comment it down right now. Is it fine now?
All right.
This is the background I have defined. This is the grid. This is the I have just defined here once display grid and gap 20 pixels because like I am going to create all these. So I don't want to manually define grid all the way for like five, 6 times. That's why I have done this just once. And for these are the blocks. So this is clear. I already explained it how this works, selector. And right now for grid beginner plus, I have defined a height of 90% of screen and I have defined a column on repeat. 12 columns for equal space. After that, for each children, means block 1, block 2, and block 3, I have defined which row or which column I want to merge. Here I have defined or instructed that I want to merge it for 3 rows. Here I have defined it to merge for 6 column and 3 rows. Here I have defined it to merge for 3 rows. You can check if I click on grid. See, header is 1, 2, 3, 3 rows. But I haven't defined any column, right? Here I have only defined grid row, not grid column. That's why by default it's taking only one column, but as defined here it's taking 3 rows. Guys,
For some reason, for me, it still stays as rows. I don't know why. I have
sorry,
grid.
two.
Yes, I have grid beginner plus class, but I also did grid template columns, but my output stays in rows for some reason. Oh, I have to give grid column in the block too.
Yeah, like I explained, how
Ah,
whatever I want to merge, I have to merge those many things. Guys,
mm.
let me just go it over again. Just stop coding and just look at my screen for once. See, there are 3 blocks. First, remember the HTML. There is a header, there is main, and there is footer. Okay. After defining the parent and after telling the parent to make a grid of 12 columns, this is what I have done here. I have told the parent that I want a grid of 90% height of the screen. That means my grid is going to cover 90% of my screen and I want that grid to be divided into 12 columns for equal space. That means equal fractions. That is 1 FR. After that, I'm done with the parent. Now I'm talking with now I'm editing children. First children is block 1. That means header. Here I've used grid row only, not grid template row because I only use template keyword when I'm defining something, not using. Here for children always use. They don't they don't earn, right? Children don't earn. They don't create. They use. So here children are using. That's why grid row only. And span means merge. So this means I want this block 1 to merge 3 rows. But I haven't defined grid column. So by default, it's going to stay within one column only. That's the default behavior. So check here. This is one first row. This is second row. This is third row. So header is taking 3 rows, but only 1 column. That verifies, right? Andrew,
Okay.
Naya?
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear.
Naya?
Yeah, I got it too.
Okay, you are Naya. That Nora. Sorry.
Oh, you're asking Naya, sorry.
Okay, Naya is not there. Okay, no, yeah, sure. I thought there were 4 of you. Never mind. So this is clear. Now the second children, I have defined both of things here now. I have defined column, I have defined second child to merge 6 columns. That means it's going to take a space of 6 columns and it's going to drop till 3 rows. Here you can verify it. See, this is where it starts from. Second column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After that, there is footer. So 6 columns and 3 rows.
Yeah.
Same goes for footer or third child. I've only defined grid row span 3. That means my third child is going to take 3 rows but only 1 column by default. Is there any doubt, any kind of doubt here till now?
No doubt. Yeah, so far it's clear.
Okay, is it is it the case for everyone?
Yes.
Good. So my question is now, my question is with okay, all of you, not any one of you. I want to expand my main so that my footer is just on the extreme right. So what change do I have to make? I want my main to look like this. See, my main is taking the whole space in between. So what do I do that? How do I do that? Okay, where did it go? Yeah. How do I do
Maybe
that?
maybe one fraction or
Sorry, one fraction. What?
yeah, you showed us one FR
Yeah, one FR where? I mean, what change do I
in block two
block to
grid column.
grid column should be one FR. True, true. You are employing the same logic that we used in beginner class, but you are forgetting that we have already divided the whole grid into 12 columns, Andrew. When we used this, see, here's the code. When we used one FR for the middle column to take all the space, we didn't divide the whole grid into 12 columns, right? Remember?
Okay. So
Yeah. So
okay, so
in that case, that was the default behavior. But right now we have
sp-
already divided it.
then
So
span 11
span 11. Yes, span 11 where?
in grid column.
Okay, span 11 in grid column. Let's see. This is the output. What do I do now?
Oh, okay.
A little bit, a few minute change. Right direction, wrong execution.
Uh,
Let me show you the
span
grid
10,
again.
span 10,
Sorry.
maybe span 10,
Yes, yes, yes.
but it
Span
was divided by 13. That's why I thought.
divided by 13. How?
Yeah, there are 13 sections.
No, there are 12 sections. There are 13 dividers.
Oh, okay, 13
Yeah,
dividers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 11, and -1. You can count as -1 or 13. So
Yeah.
this is the 13th one. Yeah.
So
So
like
we will also in just in the next level we are going to make use of these numbers directly. So don't worry. But right now, is there for everyone, is there any doubt in the solution that Andrew gave us? We changed from span 6 to span 10. Why? Is that reason clear to everyone?
you guys understand? If not, then ask. Why 10?
Yeah, why 10?
Yeah.
Why 10? Okay. What does span 6 do? What does this do? What did it mean? For the second block, I am defining grid column as span 6. I just
How
told you what it means, right? Can you just repeat?
So it divides for 6 columns. We create 6 columns.
No, it not is it
in
doesn't
the
create. I just I just said one line that
Result.
children don't create anything. Children don't earn. They just
Yeah,
use.
you
Yeah.
use
big stuff?
So
Это школа не делается. У меня смотрите row просто.
Это твой, да?
Sorry. I just have issue in my code, so I'm just trying to figure out. I have only rows for some reason, but not columns.
no issues. We can figure it out together. But first, just let me know if you remember what meaning I that I conveyed for these two lines that I am highlighting right now. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, it uses 6 columns, and for the row, the block 2 is using 3 rows.
Yes, exactly. That block 2, the second child, is using 6 columns and is using 3 rows. Now here, my question from you guys was that I wanted footer to be in the 12th column, right? In the last, just in the extreme right. Now for that to happen, how many columns are remaining? Last and first are occupied by header and footer. How many columns in between? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense mathematically. 12 minus 2, because first and last are occupied. So 12 minus 2 is 10. That's why I changed from span 6 to span 10, because I wanted the middle child to take up all the space in between. So that means it's going to start from second column and stretch all the way till 10th column or 11th column, you can say. Is there any doubt in this statement, in the meaning of it, in the use of these two attributes? Any doubt? If
No.
nothing, if nothing is making sense, even in that case, you can let me know. I will repeat the whole thing again. But
Now,
please do let me
can
know.
you just show like the outcome when we did like 10? So the main part is popping up. Okay. Is that possible to do here like 12, or it's gonna hide like since we have on the right side header and left side like footer, it's not possible to do here as 12. No,
Why
right?
won't why won't it be possible to do the
No, I'm just asking. There's
no,
no
it's
like
possible.
sense, I guess, because we still need like 3 columns here, and it would if
Okay,
we did
okay,
like
then maybe I'm understand I understood the question differently. Can you repeat the question?
no, you just said yes, it's possible. That's it.
Okay, that's fine. Other questions? Any other question? In case you want to actually not just visualize grid in your head or mind, if you want to actually see the grid, you can just go to the developer console and click here, grid. As soon as you have already defined display equals grid property in CSS, this power comes to you. You can just click here and you can see the grid. All the vertical ones are columns, on the horizontal ones are rows, and dividers are numbered starting from -1 all the way till starting from 1 all the way till -1. -1 denotes the end. And why 12? Because we have defined it. So we have divided it into 12 sections. That's why 12. Any questions, guys? Any questions till now?
Can I share my screen? Can you look at my code real quick?
Sure.
So I'm still getting rows. I don't know why.
Just a second. I have to. Okay, where is it? Just a second, guys. Oh, yeah. I will stop sharing my screen for now, right? Pause share. And yeah, you can share your screens are.
I am sharing. Can you see my screen?
No.
Stop and share.
Let me share one more time. Can you see now?
Yes.
So this is my index.
So you have a defined HTML structure as the parent is grid beginner plus, and the class is block 1, 2, and 3. You have added text, header, main, footer. Okay. And first, can you scroll up the CSS file? Scroll up.
Scroll up.
Yeah. Okay. You have defined for all the grid words in the class, you have defined display grid and gap 20 pixels. For all the blocks, you have defined a border radius, padding. For grid beginner, that's irrelevant. We don't have a big grid beginner class. Now scroll down a bit.
Huh?
Scroll down. Yeah. Grid beginner plus height 90 VH. That's for parent, and that's true. Grid template columns. Yeah, we are repeated 12. There is one little mistake. You are not using comma in between 12 and 1 FR. Can you see? Can you add one comma there? Refresh.
Oh,
Voila.
thank you.
No issue. Anyone else who would like to figure out what's going wrong with their code, or if they would like to show me that they've already done the right way? Guys, anyone else?
So
Or
in
any
rows,
doubts?
we can write without commas, and in when we grid them, when we create columns, we have to use.
No, I haven't done that. Did I do that?
Oh, we don't have repeat on rows.
Yes, that's the difference. That we are whenever we use function. See, when just a second, we'll replace this. So yeah, so can you see whenever here I'm just using span. Span isn't a function. Span is just like merge, command merge. So I just give it one argument. But in case of repeat, it's a two parameter based function. That's why I'm using comma.
I see. Thank you.
Any other doubts, guys?
Can we have break now? Short break.
Sure. But short break, 10 minutes only, not 15.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll
Thank
see
you.
you
See you
guys
in 10,
after
15
10
minutes.
minutes. Yeah. Not 10, not 15, 10 minutes. So guys, everyone back?
Yes, we are.
Andrew?
Here.
Okay. Nora?
Nora is here.
Okay.
Yeah, I am in the office with
Okay.
Nar.
So just going over this once again. Any doubts, guys? How this code translate into this output? Any doubt? How we made use of span? How we divided the grid into 12 columns? Any doubt in that? How we actually created the grid? Any doubt, guys? Yes or no? Helpful?
No.
No doubt. What about you, Zan? You seem like you have a question, but you are not asking it.
No, it's good. I just want to know like how in so grids are used to structure the page so that we know where to put some. Like, why do we need these grids?
Okay. Well, okay. Let's just. Mm, what page should I open? Which website should I open? Let's just. Okay. Tell me any website. One Any
Amazon.
popular website. Amazon. 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 I don't want to sign in. I just want them to show grid. Okay. Okay, this is too big. Okay, some other website. Amazon it too big. I mean I would have to go deep in the HTML structure to find grid. So let's just say some other website.
Zara.
Zara could be helpful. Yes, I think Zara is not that complicated as Amazon. Zara. This one's fine, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it's not scrollable. How come? Okay, do I have to provide my details first?
Yeah.
That's not good, but that's fine.
I click on woman.
Click on woman. This one?
No. On this girl. Or we can open different page. Sephora, for example.
Could be because of the country. I mean, this is slash in that is served for India, so that could be the
If
reason.
you in this selection categories, you see women, men, kids, and beauty. If you choose
Okay,
any,
that. Okay.
yeah. So you choose any of them. Yeah, if you go to the stresses, probably it will open. Yeah.
So yeah, this is another option. I think they must could be using grid, and they could not be possible. I hope they do. Okay. See, can See, can you see here? I mean,
Grid.
this website is not only in not built only in HTML, CSS. That's why we here can see classes of layout grid type, standard layout catalog products, because they have employed other frameworks that are doing things for them. How? The technology is that specifically they are using is called SCSS. SCSS or SASS. These are modern CSS languages. How do they work? Like, for example, you can't do 1 plus 1 in CSS, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can. There is a way that we can define classes, we can define variables in CSS as well. That is really advanced CSS. And after defining variables, what we can do is we can define all our styles in JavaScript or any other language and just employ that language to convert all the code into CSS. That converted code before it is converted is called SCSS file or SCSS file because they have that extension .scss or .sass. So they do this. This is showing flex, right? But they are using grid. That's why. So in general, they are using grid, but to us, it is rendered as flex because of optimizations and all. We go deep in this, we find grid,
Oh yeah,
grid,
that's
flex. And I don't know if there are food delivering apps, food delivering websites in US. Not
DoorDash.
really. Sorry,
DoorDash. It's food delivery.
DoorDash. Is it
Yeah.
DoorDash?
Yeah, like door.
Acha, okay, DoorDash.
Yeah.
DoorDash food delivery. Yes. Okay. Cloudflare. There you go. Okay. This might work for you for the depiction, but not me. Let's see. This is an Indian giant for the same purpose. Oh, this is tiresome. I'm in the capital, so Delhi. See, see, can you see these scroll?
These are all grids.
No, no. The grid's a later point. But can you see this Zoka diner or whatever? These,
Yes.
do you know what these are called? What is the name of this thing? The combination of this image and I mean the whole infomercial of this one restaurant. What is this called? Do you know? Do you guys know?
No, I don't know what is how it's
These are
called.
called cards.
Cards.
Yes, cards. These are called cards. See?
Oh, okay.
This is the generic. This is generic structure. An image with some text, with some heading. It could be. It could be anything. It could be any kind of detail. See, offers, prices, distance, ratings, name, images, and a whole lot of other stuff. It could be anything. But all in all, it's a card. So grid is most useful in placement of cards. Whenever we are design, suppose if I have to design such a website for food ordering company, then I would be definitely using Flex or Grid in some in some way. Not some way, definitely the most obvious way. Like this. See, you're just using flex, 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 flex. Can anyone tell me why they are using only flex? I mean, they have used flex so many number of times. I mean, they could have used grid, right? Just once grid. They could have used that. But why did they use flex so many times? Can anyone? I mean, it's not. I'm not expecting a right answer, but just a guess. If anyone.
I guess like flex giving there some advantages, so there is a reason behind for sure, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure
of
what is
course.
the
That's the
reason.
reason I'm interested in hearing.
Maybe it gives some options. I
Okay,
don't know.
you can take a look again. Maybe now you will feel different.
Maybe in Flex, you don't have to give like exact number of columns and rows. It's just creates, or it just uses
Nei-
anything.
Neither in grid. I mean,
Mm.
I introduced a word. See, I hope I haven't erased it. Okay, I have erased it, but let me again auto fit and auto fill. These are the properties I told you that we won't be using today because I want you guys to be comfortable with manual settings as well. But you don't always have to define 12 columns or that kind of things. Grid works on its own as well, even better than Flex, much better than Flex. But still, this website is using Flex as much as possible. Why? Because the biggest reason is that most of the things that they are showing is carousel based. That means, see, these are different things, right? These all the options. These are the categories. They don't have anything to do with these things. These things don't have anything to do with these restaurants. All of them are separate, and they are all being displayed in carousel form. And carousel is basically a row. So that's why, for maintaining the separation of concern, there is a concept in software development that we developers follow. Separation of concerns. That means all the things that are related to each other should be put together, but all those things that have separate concerns should be put separately in different baskets. In case of development, that makes sense. That if I'm using defining CSS for one like here I'm defining CSS for grid. Now, if I want all the grids to be exactly same, if I want all the grids to have a background of some color, to have a border of some color, some specific style, I would just write it here, right? I won't just go on and write it repeatedly for each and every grid, right? So that is separation of concern. They this website is employing the same concept. They are using Flex because all they want to do is all in the rows. That's why. So these are one of a few examples, real life examples where we use Flex, where we use grid very extensively, even Zara, like you pointed out. Anyway, other than that, any doubt? We have to speed up now. Any doubt, guys?
No.
No.
Okay. So now let's come to intermediate level. See, this is what we have to build, but let's not build it at first. Let's build this at first. Mm, yeah. So I will just add. I'm just copying this template from here. I don't have want to create one. This time I will be using section. No difference, but just to make you guys familiar with it. That's why. And grid intermediate by default. I'm not using other than this block. Okay, even this I will comment down these. See, the basic structure is already there, right? This is the default. This is the default behavior. So I guess this is not a problem, right? Now, first, let's get in contact with the parent. Let's change the class and let's get started first. Now, what we have to do is we have to add responsivity. How do we do that? You guys remember? Guys, it answers.
Hover over. Oh.
What?
Actions? What was it?
What actions?
Mm.
So we
Yeah.
need 2 rows and like, oh no, 2 columns and 12 rows.
True. Good, this could work. But see, Andrew, you are on the right track. But the problem is that we have to change it dynamically. See,
Oh, okay.
now it
So
is different. So what do I have to do first for this? This is the mobile view. This is different now. This is just one column. If I drag it out, why is it not dragging? If I drag it a bit, stretch it a bit, it becomes 2 columns. See, what should I do that to achieve this?
Pass the size.
Sorry,
We have to pass the size whenever we want. Whenever it reaches some point, some size, it
how do
should.
we do that? That's the whole question. I covered the same thing in my last class. Hint.
the view.
Sorry, what?
No.
View is just apparent thing. We are talking about conditions here that we have to put.
Media, right?
Yes, there was only one thing that related to some condition. That was media queries. Just a revision of media queries as well, that we have to use media queries for make any web page responsive. If you guys remember, media queries is how we put if and else in use in CSS. Basically, we write media and in the bracket we write our condition, and after that we write our CSS. Okay, so here for minimum width of min width, yeah, for minimum width of 768 pixels, let's just say 768 pixels, I want what behavior I want. Oh, what the hell? I want this behavior. Yeah. So what I'm going to do first is for intermediate, my height is 90 VH. My columns are 12 spread out. And this time I have to define rows as well. Why? Because I have to give specific size for rows as well. Rows.
Can we
And
use
for
only
defining,
can
sorry,
we use only 2 columns?
yeah, we can use only 2 columns, but do remember that for the next step, we will not this one. Okay, never mind. For this step, we will require different number of columns. Just remember that. And
Mm.
columns can here, Andrew, one question for you only.
Yeah,
Uh, how many columns do you think we can manage this layout in? At least how many columns we need here?
the 12.
Why 12?
Because
Don't worry, just
oh,
just give an answer try.
yeah, so we can do 2 on the left, 3 on the right,
2 on the
and
left, 3 on the right,
seven
and
7 on center.
true. Well, let's check. Okay. Why am I not able to see the grid? Okay, not this one. Okay, here is the grid for us. So yeah, 2 columns, 3 columns here, 2 columns here, and rest of it is taken by main. Yeah, right. But we can do one thing. We can define it in fractions. If I want to define it in fractions, in that case only I can use 3 columns. That means column will be 3, columns will be 3, and my size will be dynamic and specific for each column. Or like you can say section, like add section, side section, and main section. Anyone? Any doubt in this particular scenario that I was just asking about?
No.
Okay, great. So getting back to square one. Yeah. So here I'm going to define rows. Let's say first row is 100 pixel. After that, second row is well is 100, not 100. It seems a bit shorter. Let's say 80 pixel. After that, let's say 400 pixel. Main. After that, blog seems 80 pixel. Yeah, seems 80 pixel. And there is footer. Oh, sorry, footer, not footer. 100 pixel. Can anyone? I know this is the first time I'm writing or using this property, but still, I want you guys to guess. Have a guess. Like, is this correct? This is first row header. This is 100 pixels. This is second row add. This is 80 pixels. This is third row main. This is 400 pixels. This is fourth row, block 80 pixels. But do I consider this side a separate row? Should I write 80 pixels for this section as well? Or should I just skip it? So or should I write it this way? Getting to the footer directly. What do you guys think? Guys, thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Say something. Andrew, Zan, Nora.
Yeah, you can leave it like this because we use, like you said, template to initialize the.
Yes, we use template to initialize, but that means basically my question was that here I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 values. I have 5 rows. That means this blog section and site section are going to be in one row. I don't have to define separate rows for or separate size for defining these.
No, I think you just use grid column span 6 and span 6 one more time.
Yes. In that way, yes, we can do that. But this time, like I said, we are now intermediate. We are not beginner plus now. We are intermediate now. So there is a new way that we are going to execute things. First of all, let me encapsulate it in side of our media query so that it does have effect. And what I'm going to do is block wise, block 1, sorry. And in this, I'm going to have grid columns. Columns, right? It says columns, right? Or is it column? Column. 1 minus 1. So there are 6 blocks. I have defined for 6 blocks. See, this convention, earlier we used span. Span meant merge. But there is another way. Like I said in the previous part, that when we use grid, either we can decide from how many rows that we want to merge or how many columns that we want to merge, or there is another way. Another way is we can define from which dividing line, that means these numbers, from which dividing line to which dividing line I want a particular block or section to take the space. Suppose, for example, I want block 1 to take the space of what? This take the space from beginning to the end. Same, same I want for block 2. Same I want for block 3. But for block 4 and 5, I want them to take equal spaces. And for block 6, I still want to take up the whole width. So I can define starting slash ending. This is the convention. Start slash end for grid column property or grid row property. That's what I'm using here. Grid column start means where we are starting from. Now let's come to our own output. Grid. See. All of these are from 1 to -1, right? Because I've already copied and pasted the same value. So all of these are -1 to -1. Can anyone let me know what do I have to do to get this, to make blog and side in the same row, side by side? Can anyone?
Maybe block 4 1/7, block 5 7/-1.
Great. Exactly correct. Block 4 1 to 7. And you are saying this from 7 to like this, right? But it didn't work because it didn't take effect. Tap and then 768. Okay, now it's happening. 768. Let's not 768. Let's make it 668 so that we can see. When I short the screen. Now can you guys see? The desired the desired output. We have it. Now it's in one screen. I mean, we can modify according to our needs. Like I can do this 60, I can do this 60 to make it look in the screen. That's up to that's up to us. But the main thing is, did you guys understand this convention, the start and end convention according to the lines of grid? This is starting from 1 to -1, but this line here, it is starting from 1, goes till 7. And for this slide, the start is 7 and the end is -1. Any doubts with this convention, how to define this? Or any doubt in how we used it in the cascade of media query, along with media query? Any doubts in that? Any question is welcome.
Can you show the HTML, please? 1 second. for the index HTML. Okay.
Anyone else want to take a look at HTML? You can take a look at HTML. Anyone? Any doubt now? Have you guys coded along? Can we move on? Andrew, and Nora. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, we can hear you.
But I can't.
Yeah, we can move on.
Andrew?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So now comes the next step. Now we have
I'm
to
sorry,
progress it.
Can you please send this media block of code
Sure.
before
But
we
you have
move on?
written, sorry?
Yeah, I'm just having one issue. I don't know why, but the footer is not coming to an end.
You can show us.
Okay, let me share my screen.
And you have made this right? Exactly how we are wanting it to.
Say it again.
Have you already coded along with me
No,
till this point?
No, I can practice tomorrow.
Okay, so okay, that's fine. That's fine. For I'm just asking for those who are coding along. Zartan is going to share her screen, so I'll just.
Can you say, I'm sharing, can you see?
Yes, now I can see. Okay, so block one. Just can you? Okay, just a second. Just a second. Can you scroll up? Scroll up. Okay, okay. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah. 668 pixels, and we are first with the grid INTRMED, okay, fine, that's fine. Height is 90 ph, grid template columns, repeat 12 on FR. Zan, you are missing something here. You have defined the size of rows for only 4 rows,
Mhm.
but we have 6 rows. According to the template that we are using as a reference, we are putting two sections in one row. So that means at least 5 sections should have a pixel range, right?
What is the
Yeah.
last one?
Yes. It is for footer.
So how much is it?
Anything, 100 pixel, 100 pixel, fine. It's anything.
Yeah, 100 pixel when I add, nothing is changing.
Just save. Okay, now block 1. Grid column is 1 to 1. Grid column block 2, block 3, block. No, no, no. Scroll down, scroll down. Just a second, just a second. Block 1, 2. Block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 minus 1, 1 to 7, 1 2 minus 1, 1 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1. Scroll down, scroll down.
Or should I remove this?
Can no, yeah, actually. See, now this is the desired output as soon as you trigger the media query. Yes. No, no. Comment these out. Count these out.
Okay.
Now, expand your window of output.
Okay.
Yes. No, not no, not the devices. It have to be a laptop or a tablet. Still, it's a mobile phone. Anyway, you can edit directly the size.
Okay.
No, 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 not from here, not from here. Go again in the dimensions, dimensions, device.
For device.
Yeah.
Response.
Can yes. From here you can just keep it 668.
Also for both.
Keep it 900. Make it 900. Yeah. Now make it 669. 70. No effect. Media query is not running. Show me the code again.
Mhm.
Code looks fine to me. Code looks fine to me. I mean, maybe the possible miss miss output is because of sandbox, I guess. I mean, I believe if you copy paste the same output, same code and run it on directly with the browser, it would give the same result as I am getting on mine.
Okay. Wait, can you still share, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Code is same, almost exactly same. I can share. I will be giving the code for the whole document anyway, so don't worry. I've
Okay.
already written the code for you guys. See here. I have written the code for everything in a really proper manner. So that's why. So don't worry, I will be providing everything. Don't worry about that. Just, you have what you have to worry about is that if there is any doubt in current scenario, current settings, what we have already done developing. So is there any doubt?
No.
Okay, great. So coming to our next step. So our next step is we have to create this. So our discussion with Andrew told us that we have to create 12 columns. Other than that, we have to mm, do go with the row
Can you
sizes as
share your
well.
screen?
Okay, am I not sharing my screen? Okay, thanks for letting me know. Can you guys see now?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you didn't see the code. See, I have already prepared the code for you guys in a proper manner, well written. So don't worry, I will be providing this to you. Bach has given me access for Slack, so even there, and also note this down if I don't want to forget these links. This is the main link. If I want to share anything with you guys, I'll be sharing here. This is the drive, Google Drive link for my own drive. If I want to share anything with you guys, I'll just upload it there. You can and drop a message, and you guys can just check it out. Um, Other than that, let's get back to it now. So, not. So this is what we have to build now. Now this time, it's one row, two row, three row. Now here we have to. Can anyone suggest what should we do? I mean, other than creating a whole new different media query, let's just say I am letting you now from this point. Can you guys help me achieve this from this to achieve this? Can you?
Yeah, we need 12 columns.
Yes. So
And
12 columns are already there. Now
uh, we can do also 12 rows.
12 rows. I
Yeah,
don't think we
it
need 12 rows.
Only three rows.
or you can do 100
I mean,
pixels,
this is one,
500,
two, three. Sorry.
or you can do 100 pixels, then 500, and maybe
Okay. Sure. 500 pixels. After that,
and
100
yeah,
is fine.
yeah, 100 is fine.
Okay, so 3 rows, 12 columns. Now what? 90 VH height. Let's increase it 95. I don't want this. I want this to take whole page. Now what? How many blocks? Let me. You already know we have 6 blocks. How should we manage these? blocks. Let me put this side to side
Yeah.
for your. That's the problem. See, now I think it's a bit better. Now you can see.
First
Okay.
one grid column can go from 1 to 2, maybe?
Why maybe?
From 1 to 2, or yeah, from 1 to 2, and then block 2 from
Which one is block
1.
one? Zan, which
Oh,
section is block one?
block 1 is header, right?
And
So it's
if
1
we
to
stretch it,
2.
yeah,
Okay, so then block 2 is from 1 to 2.
okay. Block. Guys, if anyone else feels that they want to suggest something different, they can simultaneously. Don't have to hold back. Zan is saying that's 1 to 2. Okay. Now what?
Block
This is
3
1 to 2.
from
This is
um,
for main. This is 3. From 3 to
3 to 9.
9.
Or
Okay.
I mean, not 9, but 11. Oh, 10.
Okay. 11. Okay. 10. After that,
Block block 4 from 11 to -1.
just a hint, Zan. The number we leave from here, we use the same number as starting that we
Uh,
used for end. So that means
so
you don't have to create difference in between them. That means if we are using 10 here, I can use 10 here as well.
10 and
Uh,
-1.
10 and
So
minus
in
1,
block
yes.
-3,
But
we
but
can use
but there is a difference. You are telling this for side section, right?
yes.
But it is 5. So this value is for 10 and -1. This is for, yeah. See, it's 5 written here. That means where is section 4? 4 is here. What do I do with 4 now?
From 1 to 2.
Yes. Now 6.
6 is the same. 1 -1.
Anyone else? Any edit? Any correction? Anything?
In this block 3, I guess we can start from 2.
Block 3. We can start from 2. Okay. One correction down. 1 to 0. Anyone?
Block 6, 2 to -1.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. 2 to -1 because it's starting after block. Anyone? Anything else? Okay, nothing. Let's see. See, this is your output. A bit mismatch, quite a bit. Why? First block is 1 to 1, that is fine. Second is 1 to 2, but you haven't uh, told it about the rows. How much rows? Which block should take which row? How many rows? So even that you have to define. Remember, by default, it's going to take one column straight, all the rows. Remember, guys? So what we can do is, how many rows we have defined? We have defined 3 rows. So let's just say it is fine already. Let's not hear it. For this grid row 2 to 3. Yeah, so I think now we are having our desired state, right?
Yes.
Great. So let's check its responsivity. See, now mobile size. Now this is what we created before than that. And now this is our main. Is there any doubt right now? Any doubt?
So for block 5, you just added row that starts from 2 and ends
Yes,
with
3.
Okay. In actual development, there is also cases like specifying the number of columns or no?
Number of columns as in?
As in here.
Yeah, I mean, if we are using grid in some way or the other, we have the option to define number of columns. And if we want things to be planned out really accurately, like if we want to divide the sections in some sort of count, then it's easier for us to divide them on the basis of counts of column. Like I was discussing with Andrew, right? That how many columns do we need? Yeah, so that comes handy, but like I said, even at that time, that it's not necessity for us to use columns or use 12 columns. It's just a standard. Most of the basic standard formats, or you can say structures, that we can build with the help of 12 column grid. That is standard. But if we want to delve deep, if we want to practice, if we want to create something complex, the standards go out of the picture. You just have to then stick to the basics of how you use these properties. Any doubts now? Andrew?
No.
Great. Nora?
No.
Okay. I would say, Nora, can you please a bit more participative? I'm not hearing anything from you.
No, I'm here. I'm just following And
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, that you are just following.
okay,
Mm. Well, let's move on to final section. That's our pro section. Now, let's say there is only one change in the HTML from intermediate to pro. Now we are entering in the pro territory. How to define pro grids. So, what do you guys think? This is going to be tough, even more tough than intermediate. Like intermediate is more tough than beginner plus, or this is going to be easier,
More tough.
more tough. Let's see. You guys are going to tell me if this is more tough or less tough. Uh, First thing we have to, we are already dealing with media queries. We already have defined 668 and 1080. So let's keep it that way. We don't have to change much. Let's just create the main difference, pro, pro, and we are already defining 12 columns. Mm, yeah, number of rows is stays the same. What we have to define is, just a second. This is what I have to define. Okay, so A, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, okay, I'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 6 seems like 2, this seems like 3, this seems like 2. 2, 3, 2, 9. 500 pixels and 100 pixels as well. One more thing I can do is, okay, I'll introduce the new master, this grid template area and grid area. Now we are going to define grid template area. How is it? What is it? We just define it like this. Suppose, okay, before defining it, let's just move to blocks for a reason. Let's name all the columns to area. Okay, not just here. Okay, so area, we define the name of what, by what name or by what variable, or how do we want to denote that section. Like for block 1, how do we want to denote it? I can denote it with some character M, or what is its name, header. Let's keep it H. For block 2, this is blog, so I can define it with character B. This one, M, sorry, this one M, this one side, I think, if I'm not sure, 4, yeah, side, and footer is 5. F. There is no block 6. Let's just remove it. Same goes with here. This is the same for both the media queries, because we are naming here the area and it's not going to change. Okay. The only change is in area. How we take it up. In this, we have only divided the whole grid in 12 columns, but when it comes to defining rows, we don't need to. How? Just just H, and 4 times H. This is our first row. I'm just using names to tell the compiler which area belongs to which section. That's it. Just name them and use the names. See? Okay. Now, I'll use uh, what was B? Block B. B. Let's just say B. Let's just say M. What is M? M. Okay. M. What is sidebar? All the rest of H's are F. Let's just see if we are done it right. Doesn't seem like we have done it right. Okay, wait. This is all the 110 1080 pixels. So for now, let's just okay, which areas? Okay, it's not in quotes. Okay, now it's all messed up.
Huh?
So why is it so? Okay, F. Site header add. This is okay. Add. I have forgotten what adds. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How there are 6? Okay, there are 6. Sorry. What is H? One is H, two is A, three is M, four is S, four is B. Sorry, four is block, five is should be S. Five should be S. Yeah. This is it. What's better to work? Fine.
Purkesh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have to get get going. Can we watch the recording for this pro part, or maybe carry on from next?
Just a second. What's the time? Okay, it's 42. By what time is there a next class?
Yeah, it's no, just have to go home.
Okay.
I think
Then
we're
fine.
like
Sorry.
12 minutes late. It's usually till 9 p.m. So we thought it will end at 9.
So it's not.
I
It's
don't know.
9
I
there.
don't know what time is it for you.
Okay. Never mind. My time is completely different. It's 8:42 a.m. right here, right now here.
I guess
So
8:30 then for you.
yeah.
Should
So yeah. Fine. Let's keep it. I'll keep that in mind from the next class. That this one is finished. Let's just let me just finish this one because even if for the recording, I'm not going to speak to nobody, not alone.
Mhm.
I'm not going to record that. So you guys will just miss that part. Let's just remove it from here, and I'll do the same. You guys will just get the gist of it. Yeah. Can you guys see now?
see what your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this, we have defined header, blog. There are 6 sections, and we haven't defined any. We are not using any lines. We are not using any references to how many columns or rows that we are going to merge, or from where they are going to start or end. Nothing. We have just named the areas. All the sections are named. I've used the initials only, like header for H and add for A, M for main. Just 6 areas. and we are just using the names that we have given to define which area belongs to which section. This is the use of grid template area. This is the easiest way you can define the use of grid area. You just have to name and you just have to write which belongs to what.
Oh, that's cool.
Does this seem anyhow problematic, or seems like if you're I'm already going to provide the code, so is there anything that you think that you won't be able to replicate?
So it goes like block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's actually the convention that I have followed here. Block 1 is header, block
Okay.
2 is add. This is the it.
No,
And
I mean in the
accordingly,
area part.
in the area part, it's according to not block 1 or 2, it's according to the names I've given here for by the property grid area. Like suppose I change it uh, these H from H to A. Nothing happens because I have already defined another area. One part can only belong to one area. So that would be erroneous. So it ignores it. But if I define it with S or again S, this should change.
No, I mean like
And
each line. I mean, and so
see,
we have 6 lines. So each of these is for each
no,
sections.
I haven't defined rows. I have defined rows by the number of lines I have created here. That means I have defined 6 lines here. Then indirectly I am defining 6 rows. That's how we are defining rows. Suppose if I remove this, see, now it's 5 rows. 2 here, 1 here. Suppose if I remove even this, just 4 rows. 1 here, 2 here, and 1 here. That's how we are using the area resource by naming it and by counting it. Doubts, guys? Andrew, Nora?
No, it was clear. Thanks.
So you guys can replicate it if I give the code, give you guys the code, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's conclude here. That was our last topic. After this, we will be continuing in the next class, just so you guys know. And other than all the other things, assignment and all, I will be communicating on the Slack itself. You all are on the Slack already, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll be communicating rest of the things on Slack itself. Fine, guys. Let's just end the class here. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.